Sharon Needles' over-the-top guts and glamour appeals to the freak inside all of us. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Sharon Needles is the biggest breakout star from the reality TV show RuPaul's Drag Race.
And now she's killing it with her new album PG-13, which debuted on iTunes pop charts at number 4. Today, Sharon Needles is back on Feast of Fun to play her entire album exclusively for premium listeners and to tell us the terrifying tales behind the making of the album.
Listen as Sharon Needles talks about working with RuPaul, Anna Matronic, Jane County, and Amanda Lepore.
Plus, what it's like to be the world's new drag superstar.
Why it's time for auto-tuning to sashay away.
How she made Willem eat it.
And all your questions. I'm Fausto Fernos.
I'm Mark Fillion.
And this is Feast of Fun.
Hey, boys.
Hi, Sharon Needles!
How are you?
Fantastic.
Good. How are you doing? You've had a busy weekend, huh?
I had a busy week. I have a busy week ahead of me. So I'm sitting at home drinking Corona, making my claws for Canada. My Canada claws, if you will.
Well, you only drop your premiere album once, so...
That's right.
You gotta give it all.
Yes. So, for some girls, having the next season of RuPaul's Drag Race is kind of a blessing. It kind of takes a little bit of attention off them and allows them to kind of take the back seat for a little bit and have a well-deserved break. Not Sharon.
Sharon is just like, I'm going to drop my album on the day RuPaul's Drag Race premieres.
Right, because nothing makes me feel better than a lack of sleep, home, and a full roster of work.
I'm sorry, did my album drop on the same time your show premiered? I'm sorry, did I steal your thunder?
Well, that initial fear of going to reality star limbo before the world decides what they want to do with you was lurking in the back of my mind. So,
I gotta say, this club is a haunted house is fierce. I was rocking to your music at the gym, and it passes the first test.
You're not the first person to tell me that this is going to become their new gym album, which is very ironic for me.
It's ironic for you, but I think it's a testament to the strength of the music that you actually can do cardio to it. Instead of the club being a haunted house, this gym is a haunted house.
I was singing that last night at the
gym.
Right.
Some fans have tweeted me saying, Sharon, we're a little disappointed that this music is so clubby. And I'm like, well, I'm a man who dresses as a woman who works in nightclubs. So I was trying to make appropriate music and find a fine line between relevant, marketable pop culture and the brand and the truthfulness of Sharon Needles.
On the show, you've said before that you didn't always feel comfortable singing. But since you've gone on to star in the theatrical version of Rocky Horror Picture Show as Dr. Frankenfurter, you've gotten some good musical chops.
Well, I feel a little uncomfortable with live singing, but I'm very comfortable with singing in a studio because those things are like the Starship Enterprise now. I mean, they can just put your voice in the holodeck and make you sound like whatever you want. But it was really important to my production team that no auto-tune is used in the entire 12 tracks of PG-13.
Are you trying to dish there?
No, I actually love the sound of auto-tune, but they told me that you don't want your album to sound great today. You want to sound it great in a year when it's being released and singles are still flying off of it. And they predicted that the sound of pop music would start dropping a lot of its classic auto-tune sound, and it's true. I mean, you heard a lot of summer pop songs when I was making my albums using auto-tune. You really don't hear it as much as you used to.
Poor Manila Luzon is cracking her fingernails right now, going, "Damn you!"
But her auto-tune is so good.
It is really
I love
good.
Manila Luzon's music, and I probably play the chop in my home more than my own music.
The title for your album is brilliant. PG-13. You know, it's like, oh, Mom, can I buy this? Oh, yeah, it's PG-13. Okay.
Oh, you're catching on.
You're so fucking brilliant. Were you considering other titles? Or, I mean, how did you come up with PG-13?
Well, the studio and my management wanted me to call the album Beautiful, Spooky, Stupid, but I wanted it to not completely disband from RuPaul's Drag Race, but to be something a little bit more for the future, something that showed a little bit of more growth, and something, you know, and though the album was done by a drag queen, it's not really an album about doing drag, so I wanted it to kind of distance it from the show. No, PG-13 popped in my head. You know me, once it's in my head, I know it's right, and I always know what works for me, and everyone knows what doesn't. So I just went with my very first instinct, PG-13.
I heard a rumor that you want to play all the songs on today's show, all 12 songs from the album. Is this true?
Sure.
Yeah! Well, here we go, kids. Sharon Needles talks about her album, PG-13, all 12 tracks. Let's kick it off with RuPaul introducing you. This club is a haunted house. How did you work with RuPaul for this introduction?
All the guest spots, I knew I had to treat pretty well and coax them, and though all the people on the album were, you know, my idols, they also became friends since the show. That's a great thing about fame, is you get to start hanging out with famous people.
Because they're better than regular people.
Yeah, like I love hanging out with you.
Well, yeah, but I don't feel famous, but I still think my friends are famous, and I'm still very still bewildered by the magical fantasy that is fame. But so I had them they all had their own apartments. They all were fed. I kept them on the studio grounds for 2 days. Ru came in and she goes, "You got 20 minutes because I got to go roller skating."
So you didn't have her sing, but
she wasn't lying. She had her skates with her, and we knew we didn't have the capacity or the time to do a full produced track together, but she definitely wanted to lend a little bit of support. So I wrote that down. I wrote a mockery, kind of a mock supermodel of the world intro, just to give the kids a little bit of vintage RuPaul history. And then Ru went through it. She changed a couple things. I mean, she came up with "You Better Burn Witch," which is, in my opinion, just genius.
Oh, what did you have originally?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But I wanted it to have the same feel of RuPaul's telling the story of once upon a time. There was this, I think it was originally this punk rock girl from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we went to the original roots of where I came from, which is Newton, Iowa. Instead of growing up, we made it dug up. Just
very children of the corn.
Completely using Elvira alliterisms.
Because they are Fred. She's like, "Oh, I'll just borrow a little bit from my friend Elvira."
Yeah, or like how the Crypt Keeper, is just so, he doesn't say "of course," he says "of curse," and all those campy little spooky retellings of already known phrases. And I thought it was funny, and I thought she could do it in 20 minutes. And I think she did one take, and when it's Ru, you don't really need 2 takes.
And then she just roller skated out.
And then she slipped on her roller skates and flew out the door.
I bet that was a beautiful thing to witness.
Yes. And she dressed so dapper. I mean, I felt so embarrassed. I was like in my pajamas, and she showed up in a really nice suit. And I think it's cute. She goes roller skating in a suit.
So this club is a haunted house featuring RuPaul.
Enjoy it, kids.